Hello and welcome to March 10th, where we're reading Numbers 20 through 22. These chapters cover a couple of complaints from the Israelites about God's judgment on them, and really God's judgment on them because of their complaints, before rotating to address the entrance of a special guy named Balaam. He'll be very relevant tomorrow as we go into that reading, so be sure to pay attention as you're going through these few chapters. There are actually several famous stories here, and so in our brief couple of minutes today, we do need to get into them and break them down. Hopefully that'll be helpful for you. If you're interested in a further breakdown of what is in each individual chapter, chapter 20 covers several different things. Firstly, the account of Moses striking the rock instead of speaking to it. God says to speak to the rock and he'll give the congregation water. Moses strikes it, which goes against what God says. Moses faces some judgment, some punishment because of that, because he disobeyed God's rules. And that'll come up later near the end of, Numbers and Deuteronomy. You also have a conflict between two different nations, between Edom and Israel. Doesn't result in violence. God says, no, don't do that, and leave each other alone, before noting that Aaron, the high priest, dies, but the high priesthood passes on to his son, Eleazar. Eleazar becomes the new high priest. Judaism is not a religion based on mere humans. It's based on God. And so the high priest dying isn't a problem because he just gets replaced with a different one. Gets replaced with a different human. That's why Judaism, and by extension Christianity, is a wonderful thing. It's not reliant upon a human, it's reliant upon the Lord. Chapter 21 records the details of a battle that Israel won, or rather God won and gave them the victory. Very simple stuff. Before Israel curses God again, they go and complain against God again, and so God sends a bunch of serpents to strike them down. Ends up sparing them, putting up the bronze serpent on a pole, which is something Jesus will reference in the New Testament, fascinatingly enough. The rest of the chapter is about violence, is about various wars that they win with different kings, and how God protects them through the wilderness until you get to chapter 22. There's this king named Balak. He is a king of Moab, and he hires a man named Balaam, a prophet of God, to come and curse the Israelites. And Balaam kind of hems and haws and ultimately goes with him, has this weird encounter with a donkey on the way there before ultimately arriving to curse the Israelites with Balak. That's a story you'll have to break down into tomorrow. That's really where it takes its root. Chapters 23 and 24 primarily tell about what Balaam does in that situation. So if you're interested in a further breakdown of some of those chapters, you are welcome to go to the written page and read up on those. And if not, then I will see you tomorrow, March 11th, where we're reading Numbers 23 through 25.